6. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, welcome. If I make any mistakes, please correct me quickly.
You'll be forgiven. It'll be fine.
All right. Let's see. Consent items. Approval of the regular, special, and special minutes.
I make a motion to approve regular meeting minutes December 2nd, December 16th, and December 23rd.
So were those regular
Regular
and special?
and special, sorry.
So there was just something in one of the special meetings, if I could, and I remember that Ted was elected chair. I was going to be the vice chair. We talked about Judy being the
Secretary.
well, and the rep for
Oh,
the
PRTPO?
No, the Port Association.
The trustee.
Trustee. But in here,
Was that in
I think that was.
the 2nd? 16th?
But I could be wrong. I'm looking right now. No, no, it wasn't the
I did the
16th.
second swearing in,
Yeah.
and then
Well, the second
That's what I
swearing
said,
in
yeah.
was the 23rd.
okay, let's look
So
it
it
up.
must have. Hi, Travis.
Travis.
Good.
Here we go. Here's the 23rd.
Darn it.
It might have been the first one. Regular meeting minutes.
So was it on the regular?
I'm there now. So yeah, it says Commissioner Cooper nominated Commissioner Jackson for board chair. Then it says Commissioner Cooper nominated Commissioner Scott for vice chair, which is not how I remembered it. I thought I was Commissioner Scott motioned for Commissioner Cooper to be vice chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you know what it is when
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you how that mistake happened. When I get the minutes to edit, it'll say Scott said or Judy said, and that's where the
Not
confusion
Scott
came.
Cooper, Cooper Scott.
I usually catch that,
Yeah.
so I'll fix this.
Yeah, so I would second the motion to approve with corrections.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Action items. Approval of payment vouchers.
I make a motion to approve action items A, B, C, and D.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Commissioners report.
I didn't do anything special other than just our meetings, our regular meetings in December.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah, I went to the 3 port meetings and went to the EDC workshop. That was at the Ridge Motorsports. Kind of mapped out what they're going to do for next year. And yeah, that was it.
I attended 2 of the meetings and then called in on the 3rd special meeting. And then I spent about 45 minutes on the phone. Should I get into that? With the company that specializes in traffic cameras. They're a world-renowned company that does traffic safety cameras. They're going to be out, the representative is going to be out on the 15th. And we're going to do a tour of the facilities and just sit down and talk. The biggest thing with them is to make sure it's cost-effective for them and cost-effective with us. There's a huge component, Travis, for the security person, and it'll be also for Leanne at the office manager and Larry. So
You said that was on the
15th, I'll make sure you have the dates and time.
11 a.m.
I can make arrangements with them.
It's 11 a.m. We're going to meet here. She's coming down from, I think, Bellevue.
All right.
But it should be pretty interesting, and she'll be a big help to us. So, and then Port of Grapeview is also going to come out and see what they have to say.
Yeah, I spoke with the Port of Manchester, and they're like, yeah, we just bought cameras, we're fine.
Yeah.
But I did go there and look at their system as well.
Security officers report, Travis.
Board Down Security, Travis Merrill. As it being winter, it's usually pretty light out there. I did have a run-in with a gentleman that I've seen his car various times throughout the last couple of months, and finally got to talk to him because he's never been there. And he's one of the tribal members that comes for the digs. And fortunately, it looks like he's living in his car, but he's only parked here for the digs. And I saw him one night and then drove by to go to work the next day, and his car was still there, so I ran down and talked to him and verified that he indeed was a digger for the tribes.
That's here.
Yeah. So what it is there's a phone number that they all call into, and then they'll find out where the barge is. And then they'll just show up wherever the barge is, load up on the barge, go out and do their dig, and then get dropped back off at that location. So, the guy didn't pose any harm or anything. He wasn't really there much longer than about 17, 18 hours. But that's why I kind of ran into him and had a talk to him. So, that was my biggest incident of the month.
It's a good month.
Yeah. That's great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Executive Director's report.
All right. State audit. State auditor is finished up with our audit and told us she was planning the exit conference for the week of December 16th and would be back in touch with a firm date. We haven't heard from her since then. She did say they want itemized receipts for credit card purchases, especially from restaurants. And while I do review reconciliation, she would like me to sign them as well. Other than that, we're not anticipating any major issues or surprises. Update to the comprehensive scheme. At the retreat, you all gave me the direction you want to take for the comprehensive scheme update, and I will have that ready for the February 3rd meeting. Question is, since you've all decided on what you want to do you want to schedule a public hearing for this or not? It is not required, but is customary. We could do it at the February 3rd meeting and then adopt the plan, or do you want to schedule a second public hearing and adopt the plan then? If so, it'll require a special meeting sometime in February because it needs to be sent to RCO by March 1st. I could possibly be finished with the draft of the plan by February 20th if you want to have a special meeting and public hearing that week and adopt the plan on February 3rd. We need a decision on this, and it's on the agenda for action. Update to our policies and procedures. It's a best practice recommendation that we periodically review and update all our policies and procedures, which have not been done for about 3 years. This is a major undertaking and will require some time to put together a final draft for your approval if you want to move forward with this. I'd like to present the draft at our October 5th regular meeting unless I get them done sooner, which, considering the other projects we have on our plate, I don't anticipate. This too is on your agenda for discussion and a decision. Employment agreement. I have a draft of Leanne's employment agreement for your review, discussion, and action on tonight's agenda. I had included a copy in your meeting packets and then updated it late this afternoon for some changes that Scott requested and emailed the update to you. Budget adjustments. As you're aware, we've had a number of changes on our project agendas and other things, and I recommend we do a mid-year budget review at the May 4th meeting, finalize any adjustments at our June 1 meeting. This too is on the agenda for discussion. The Eric Community Utilities proposal, we submitted a loan application to the State Department of Health to purchase the Allyn Carey water system. I've discussed a purchase price with Jeff Carey, but we haven't settled on any specific number as of this time and are waiting on the loan application to be approved. Security issues. As you know, we've been discussing installing high-resolution remote cameras here at the park, as well as as the Hood Canal Boat Launch and Marina. We want a system that'll transmit images from multiple cameras in multiple locations, store them in the cloud for any necessary law enforcement documentation. Commissioner Jackson and myself have a meeting with a potential vendor on the 15th, along with representative from some other ports who may be interested as well. WPPA meeting schedules. Next up is a spring meeting, which is May 6th to 8th at Skamania Lodge. Also, I'm going to take a week of vacation the week of January 20th. And we'll take 2 sick days on January 30th and 31st for a medical procedure. The Bias Rally is February 17th through 20th in Spokane. Leanne and I will both be attending that. Leanne will be taking vacation the weeks of May 4th and May 18th. Our July meeting is July 6th, and I will also be taking vacation July 7th through the 12th. Renting out our small office, we have a presentation on tonight's agenda from United Angels, a group that provides resources and funds for animals that need veterinary care. Although they were supposed to be here, I don't see anyone here. Totem pole issue. James Kelsey and I are still trying to find a date that works for both of us to do this. So, would you like me to go into old business here?
Yes.
Okay. Oyster House. As you know, our current part of the project is to get the launch ramp removed and the pilings driven. After meeting with Bill Ray at the retreat concerning permitting, we'll have a clear direction understanding the scope of what needs to be done. We've received a proposal from Envirotech. The engineer Bill suggested for the geotechnical report about the soils and where the pilings need to be driven, and I'm hoping to connect with him this coming week. He lives in Idaho and is only here some of the time. The bid was $6,800 and requires test borings in the water. I talked to Bill about this because I believe that cost is way out of line. He agreed and offered to talk to them. I've also talked to Art Anderson about this, and I'm waiting on a bid from them or recommendation for another firm to do the geotech report. Once the Army Corps of Engineers permit is obtained, we can begin the demolition. We have until the end of February to get that done, otherwise we have to wait until July. But aside from getting these things ready to roll, we're in a holding pattern until we get the Army Corps permit. I've talked to Bill Ray about contacting Congressman Kilmer's office to ask for help moving this forward, but Bill suggested waiting and letting him make some calls first. I also got an email back from Ben Anderson this afternoon about 5 minutes to 5 about he's hoping to have the engineer's estimate for the fire upgrade on the dock and the design work for the platform for the Oyster House to us by Wednesday. Sweetwater Park, we have the final paperwork for the transfer in hand. Joe Brogan has been coordinating this with the attorney from the school district. However, there are a couple of issues of concern that came up on the title report that need to be resolved before we close on this. One concerns water right and another an old easement. I emailed a copy of the report to you all on December 31st and outlined our concerns. I also sent a copy to Dana Rosenbach. Joe believes these issues can either be resolved or insured for, and he recommended we move forward with preparing for closing. However, the easement issue may require a survey to find out exactly where this easement is located. The question is, who will pay for that? Also, it's customary for the seller to pay for the title insurance, but if we have to insure against the title issues, we will have to pay the difference between the standard title policy and an enhanced one. That cost is estimated to be just shy of $800. So we're standing still on these issues until these issues are resolved. Staging area development, we closed the sale of the Ogren property on December 31st and are now the owners. I've discussed getting access for the required inspections and assessments with Mrs. Ogren so we can move forward quickly once they've vacated the property. She's agreed to be cooperative. Hopefully we can begin demolition shortly after they've moved out. All ports meetings. We've contacted all the Mason County ports and asked for some dates that work for everyone to have another Mason County all ports meeting. Port of Shelton originally told me they weren't interested, but that's changed. Just waiting to hear back from everyone to schedule this. The next Kitsap all ports meeting is January 27th. Transient moorage expansion project. This project is essentially complete. We do have some additional reimbursements to submit, and unless we can use the leftover grant funds for the fire system upgrade, that will close this out. I've submitted a scope of work amendment to our grant manager of commerce for the fire upgrade. She told me it would be an expansion in scope of the grant, but since it was a code issue, there's a possibility we could. She told me to get costs, which I'm waiting for Art Anderson from, write it up for her and submit it. She'd see what she could do to help. Talked to Art Anderson, asked him to work up an engineer's estimate, so we at least have an idea how much money we need. Followed up with Ben Anderson last week. He'd been out of the office on vacation, but as I said, contacted me today. Criminalization.
How much is left in there?
Pardon?
How much is left?
I think about $80,000. So, when I estimated the project, I intentionally estimated it high because I'd rather give them money back than have to get money. So, criminalization of marina rules, nothing's happened, although Commissioner Jackson's commissioned to work on this and has a direction on how to proceed, but first we need to get the camera in place. That's my report.
Thank you. Okay, new business. It doesn't look like United Angels are here, so let's jump down to B, discussion of update to the comprehensive scheme.
It basically comes down to when you want to schedule do you want to schedule a public hearing? Do you want to schedule one or two, and when? And that's basically what we need.
I think we should, even though it may be redundant, but I think we should, just for general purposes, and the sooner the better.
What are the updates?
Pardon?
What are the updates that we need to take to the public?
The shooting range, we're moving the industrial park up in the order of it, and we got to put Ogren's, the staging area on it, because, and we didn't talk about that at the retreat. Excuse me, but it was a case of we're going to do the project, we got a grant to do it, so we need to include it on there.
Gotcha.
But it's a project that should be done by the end of this year. So, but I wanted to go ahead and put it on there anyway. And other than that, everything else just moved down. We had the thing about the swimming pool upgrades, and that's just dependent on grant funding, but I'm going to put it in there.
Sure.
So. And that's basically
So
what
it's
it
our
is.
regular upgrade from the retreat.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And I started working on this today. So if you want to try to have one in January, I can maybe have it done by January 20th. But I'm going to be out of town from the 19th through the 23rd. So.
Well, can we advertise it and just hold that meeting on the 3rd?
Yeah.
As a public meeting?
Yeah. And then if you want to have another one in February, that's fine. Like 2 weeks later. The
second
only,
public hearing.
yeah, we need to check the dates that Leanne and I will be a bias, but we can work around that.
I think we just need at least one more opportunity for the public
Well,
to
and
get
I agree.
involved.
I agree. And I started writing a press release about it today,
Mhm.
but I didn't finish it because I didn't know what dates to put in there. So.
Yeah, before, many, years before, we could have a public hearing or meeting just either before or after a regular meeting, which would be fine if you guys, if you want to do that.
Okay, so do one February 3rd and one another Monday in February.
Sure.
Okay.
I agree with that.
All right, I'll get the press release written and get it out tomorrow.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Item C, discussion of update to policies and procedures.
Yeah, this is, if you all want to go forward with this, and I think we should.
I agree.
Yeah.
The best practice is to at least review them annually,
Mhm.
to make changes to it
Yeah.
periodically.
And we haven't looked at them really for 3 years.
Yeah.
So the way that I see it, we need to look at personnel issues and cybersecurity. Those are the main issues we need to deal with. And then just look and see if there's anything else in there that we need to do, because we have policies and procedures for the water system, which we updated in the water plan. So I don't think we really need to look at that. But I do think, the other two are critical. There's a lot of new law concerning cybersecurity, what our responsibilities are with protecting people's credit card numbers and that sort of thing, since we take credit cards.
So would you be able to email all of us the policies and procedures, and we could save them and make any comments? Or?
Sure. You want me to do what I think should be updated and send that to you, or just send you the whole thing as it is now?
I would like the updates.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them all.
Okay. All right.
I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what I'd like to do is just go through everything, but it's gonna take me some time to go through it.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I asked for October 5th. But I can work on the updates first and send you those as I have them. And if we get them done before then, we can adopt them before then.
Okay.
I just wanna give plenty of time, because I know it's gonna take plenty of time. And then, that's about all for that, so.
Okay.
I don't know if you need a motion for that, or to just tell me, yeah, go ahead.
I don't think you need a motion.
I don't think we do.
So, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, item D, discussion of mid-year review and update to the 2020 budget.
Yeah, I had, I think, May 4th or May 5th, whatever it was, for that meeting. With Leanne's employment contract, it's more hours than we budgeted. There's other things that we've got going on that we didn't really budget for, like the IDD. And, so what I want to do is take a look at it in May and just, adopt a updated budget.
It's technically mid-year.
Yeah.
So we probably need a motion for that, don't we?
Not really.
Okay, no motion. May will do the mid-year budget.
Yeah, the only thing
Okay.
we'll need a motion for is to adopt the amended budget.
Yeah. Okay, item E, discussion of employment agreement for office manager Leanne Dennis. I looked through it, and I did see what the changes that were made. I agree with it.
Just have a minute.
I made the changes as you remember on the phones.
Yeah.
And Leanne overheard the whole conversation.
I'm good with this.
Okay, we do need a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt the operations manager auditor employment agreement.
I'll second, but I'm still reading it.
As submitted. Oh.
Yeah, send me a copy. What have you been doing?
So specifically, the language was the changes besides the initial of each page,
Yeah,
and then specifically the sick leave payout
right,
for
on termination.
termination versus
Termination or resignation.
Correct.
Those are the only real changes. And it fixed a couple of typos.
Everybody's still reviewing.
I'm almost there.
motion of accepting the agreement, employment agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And motion carries. Public comment?
Okay.
No public comment. Well, thank you for attending. Appreciate it. Good of the order?
I have been appointed to Legislative Committee of Washington Economic Development Association. So I don't know if that's good of the order or it isn't.
Also Legislative Day, Port Legislative Day on the 28th. I'd like to attend.
Yeah, I'm going to. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. at Alderbrook is the legislative send-off.
Oh.
It's at the clubhouse up on the hill.
Pro shop.
Yeah,
It's at the pro shop, not at the,
yeah,
and I'll be attending that also.
yeah, I will too.
Is that through who?
Because both, well, the Shelton Chamber put it
Oh,
out,
okay,
but both
gotcha.
North Mason put it out also, Chamber.
Okay. Well, the other good, for the good of the order, North Mason Community Voice speaker is going to be Stephanie Rowland of the Chamber of Commerce. And February will be Jim Rothman from Port of Bremerton.
Oh, nice.
Encourage you all to attend.
And one other thing, I sent you all a copy of an email I got today. Our lobbyist is going to have a big.
Yeah.
Cool.
Congratulations to her.
All right, if there's nothing else, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adjourned.
Is this the earliest we've
Ted, I
ever been
loves
at it?
half hour.